all these big animal collectors, they're predators, just like the animals they're
Oh, yeah.
collecting. You
Oh,
need
yeah.
to prey upon them, and it's even Joe Exotic says it at one point that him and Doc Antle are kind of two sides of the same coin, where one is, for lack of a better term, one is more affluent and one is a little more trailer park. He kind of described it that way, but they're both predators who have their prey that they go after, and one is young girls and the other is young boys. But
Mhm.
And I guess there's this allure of tigers that these people can lure people impressionable youth in with. I guess I don't know. I don't think I would ever, do some of the things that they did just to for tigers. But I guess I'm also not addicted to meth, so that kind of helps,
Yeah, you would think.
with all the stimulus coming in now, we can actually get some tigers, we can get some meth, and we can put a video up.
That's true.
And show the nice people out there, a MythBuster style experiment. If this will actually happen.
Methbusters. Here we go.
Yeah, MythBusters. On this episode of MythBusters.
It's just people. What if that was like a real show? If it just was Methbusters. It was just like people just they get really high on meth and they try to debunk mysteries. And the whole how long would an episode go before they get off a tangent? I feel like you could have some big Vegas stakes on how long they go before they just abandon it altogether.
Yeah.
I feel like some people would win a house and some people would lose a house on that. Today on Methbusters, holy shit!
It would probably have to take place in Florida also, because let's face it, that's like a Florida man show.
Yeah.
Well, the murders, he did try to murder her in Florida, so when it went off the rails, it had to move into Florida.
Of course.
Of course it did.
Yeah, because it's Florida. I mean, Joe Exotic really is the ultimate Florida man. He just happened to not live in Florida. But he is like the Florida man. He's the Florida man messiah, basically.
Yeah, I mean, he tried to run for office just because. He tried, I didn't even know that he, tried to run for president until I watched this documentary. I hadn't heard of it. All I knew at the beginning of that election was just there were too many people.
Well,
that was about it.
Yeah.
And then the wrong people.
Imagine Joe Exotic actually won the 2016 election. We had 4 years of Joe Exotic.
He got 1 in 5 votes for the governorship of Oklahoma, so
he did.
That's pretty good for an independent.
Yeah.
By handing out condoms.
With his face on it, right?
Yeah.
God.
For your protection.
I mean, okay. I guess if it gets you 1 in 5 votes, it's not a bad campaign.
Yeah, well,
it's not a good one either, but it's not bad.
Do you think he fed his campaign team that Walmart meat? At his campaign rallies, he just passed all that out to his people?
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
They admitted that the friggin' Walmart meat was being used at the friggin' concession stand. So,
that's gross.
Yeah, that is really gross. I would not be surprised if people got sick.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
It was probably one of those unwritten things that when you're gonna go to Joe Exotic Zoo, just don't eat the meat because it's bad. When you know that there's a restaurant in town where it's if you go to that restaurant, don't eat this because you're gonna get sick immediately. Don't eat the sushi at this Chinese restaurant because you'll friggin' be barfing all night. That's probably what was don't eat the meat at Joe Exotic's place because it's bad.
Yeah.
Crazy too is the number of celebrities and wealthy people who went there. Shaq went to this place. Do you think Shaq had some of this Walmart meat? Or with Doc Antle, there's a picture of the Undertaker in his hot tub with one of the tigers. It's how many of these rich and famous people have been in this circle of meth and tigers and have not even known it?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure a lot. It's crazy.
Probably huge.
I mean, I could see because rich people always want to be. I think tigers are kind of a symbol of like a status symbol. You think of like Siegfried and Roy, like this like high class kind of like, oh, they have tigers and it's a high class Vegas magic show, So I think celebrities are like attracted to that, and that's why they'll go to these places.
Also in like in much older times, you'll see like paintings of like Arabian kings with tigers, or just or like there's always a portrait somewhere of like somebody like wrangling a bull or something. Or like somebody or like a prince with a lion or something like that. There's always a painting like that, and like big cats, it just like they're just a symbol of power, it seems. So that's why. Yeah. So that's kind of where that comes in. So it is, like you said, as a power thing and like a status symbol. So like these uber wealthy celebrities are like, oh, I need to flaunt my wealth. So what's the easiest way for me to do it? I'll get a tiger. Or like in The Hangover, it's like a running gag that Mike Tyson keeps tigers at his house.
I think he literally actually does have tigers in real life, though. Like,
I think I saw something that says he did at one point. I don't know if he still does.
No, well, the funny thing is, did, but he gave them up, and he says it was irresponsible. I had the quote somewhere that he regrets it, or said it was irresponsible. Let's see if I can.
I mean, there's a lot of people that like these like Joe Exotic and stuff, and Doc Antle, they like would sell tigers to like rich and powerful people. Like they regularly bred tigers.
Oh yeah,
to sell.
Yeah, and it breaks your heart because it shows like they show him like just wrangling the tiger from its mother.
Oh yeah,
like, just brutal shit. And he shot it like he killed 2 tigers, but he wasn't smart enough to get rid of the bones. So I think they found 2.
Yes, and that was part of his convictions. Everyone thinks, oh, he was just convicted because for the murder for hire thing against Carol Baskin, but no, actually, most of his convictions were from animal abuse and violation of the Endangered Species Act.
Mm-hmm.
Which he admitted to in court. His lawyers were fighting that he should not go to the stand, and he went up there and told the whole jury, it's just another one of these times where he'd been getting away with so much for so long that he thought he was invincible. I think that was the same with a lot of these people, that they got away with so much for so long.
Oh, yeah. Well, Doc Antle got raided shortly after this. Like he got raided, I think, in the summertime.
Yes.
Yeah. And that definitely had to be from what Joe was turning over out of that storage locker.
Oh yeah.
The hard drives and papers. We're going to see plenty more.
Yeah. Well, that plus the documentary itself probably like had people to start looking at him.
Oh, of course. But even like during the documentary, he was already starting to be investigated, because that's when he was starting to talk about like, hiring a hitman to hit Carol Baskin and stuff. So it's like there was just he was playing with fire. He really was. He wasn't like being very smart about what he was doing.
Well,
he was doing openly illegal things and like not trying to hide it, basically. I'm waiting for Jeff Lowe to go down. That guy's friggin' dirty as hell.
Yeah, that guy's a degenerate.
Yeah, they're gonna go after him. I mean, Carol Baskin already took the park from him. She was awarded the park in the lawsuit because Joe had apparently put the park in his mother's name illegally to like kind of hide it from her lawyers so that he didn't have to give it up. And then I guess after he went to jail and the park got passed to Jeff Lowe, like the judge, like they finally got a ruling on it, and the park just went to her. And so, like,
well, he Jeff bankrupt. Well, Joe Exotic bankrupted both of his parents, just like trying to run the zoo.
Yeah. Well, specifically too, also from the lawsuit that Carol Baskin had put against him. Yeah. Was like for an exorbitant. It was like millions of dollars. I don't remember what the exact number was, but it was several $1 million.
Yeah, it was for stupid money.
Yeah. So he basically had nothing. He just was like just getting rid of anything and liquidating anything he could just to pay off the settlement. And I'm sure Carol Baskin still is owed plenty of money.
Yeah, I mean, whether or not she'll get it doesn't matter. And I mean, she's pretty rich anyway. But so like her husband's a lawyer. So
yeah, I don't think she really even cares anyway, because her whole point was just to take Joe down, which has been accomplished.
Yeah, so like it's not about the money for her; it's just the principle.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but because she has the park now, she was taking a tour. They trashed it, rotting meat carcasses everywhere. But there's her taking a picture here. Somebody put in graffiti a middle finger, and it says Carol Baskin takes up the butt from Donald Trump.
What?
And they even just the word it. Carol Baskin takes up the butt from Donald Trump. Spray painted on the side of what looks like a small, I don't know, cabin or something.
Oh, good God.